As much as I love my job, it's a job that I consider leaving multiple times a week. I usually work 12-hour days and most weekends. The number of tasks teachers are required and expected to do in a day is astronomical and astronomically unsustainable if you talk to any pre-K through 12 teacher in the state. This year, I have 160 students that I am responsible for, their well-being, their growth, their safety. They are gifted and talented, dyslexic, homeless, students in single-parent homes, students who receive special education services, emergent bilinguals, undocumented, children whose parents have cancer, children whose parents are getting divorced, children struggling with depression, anxiety, ADHD, students from homes so poor or so broken it would bring you to tears. They are, each of them, incredible. When I have hundreds of papers, literally hundreds of papers to grade, or parent phone calls to make, or paperwork to do, or lessons to plan, or crying children to console, or data to analyze, or trainings to do, or a game, or a concert, or a play to attend, or another meeting to go to with the magical solution that will save us all, I think of their faces, their hopes and dreams, and I know that it is worth it. What I also know is that I am exhausted. Many of my coworkers and I suffer from migraines, lack of sleep, frequent dehydration, extreme stress by the new test, or this test, or that test. The fact that you mentioned 19 minutes, that sounds like a luxurious lunch. I'm lucky to get 15. Not to mention, you cannot go to the bathroom when you need to. A simple, basic thing that most people get to do when they're an adult.
And I know you didn't give us a number, but I really am asking you, what would be enough?
I'd like to speak to the salary increase portion, which when I read it, after the word said at least, there was no dollar amount listed. You mentioned earlier, Senator Creighton, $2,000. And while I'm sure many teachers would appreciate that amount, it's nowhere near enough. I urge you to add more to this allotment. And instead of giving you a specific figure, what I ask instead is this. And I just would like you to ask them about a teacher who was there for them in a time that they were struggling, when they didn't think they could pass a test or make that play in the fourth quarter, when they were learning algebra or the oboe. I want you to ask them what teacher was there for them, because I promise you they will have a name. And I want you to ask them, what do you think that person should be paid? Because I can't answer for your children, but I can answer for myself. And Kathleen Wern and Donna Shore of Medina Valley ISD deserve the world. Every dollar, every penny you can find from whatever allotment we have. Senator Creighton, you recently were quoted as stating that our most important charge is to fundamentally support education of Texas children. And I couldn't agree more. You also said it's time for decisive action. And I think today is a great day to do that.
Before we get to this time study, what's the one thing you want us to do?
Value the time of Texas teachers the way you do a Fortune 100 company.
You didn't give us a number, but I really am asking you, what would be enough?
We talked about it a lot on the teacher vacancy task force, and we looked not only at salary increases, but also enhancing the benefit packages for teachers. There are years when we do get raises, 3%, sometimes even 5%, but because of the cost of healthcare, we have $50 less in our paycheck at the end of the month. So it's not only important to just look at that $1 amount, though I appreciate the question. I know it sounds bold and ambitious, but I would think we are in a crisis, which is why the teacher vacancy task force was created. We talked about 10,000 or more. While looking at the cost of healthcare and other benefits that can help offset some of those inflation costs for teachers.
Okay, I appreciate you being specific.
Thank you.
Because I think any of us would say, yeah, the world, right?
Sure.
But we also know we can't do that, right? We still have other things we have to fund.